Now at 9, the future students of Joplin's Dover Hill Elementary getting a lesson in STEM as they helped with the construction.
Omicron is on the way out, and that's good news for the travel and tourism industries. I'm Christina Coleman in Los Angeles. I've got the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A judge sentences a Grove, Oklahoma woman who pled guilty to assaulting a witness in a murder case. Marie Morrow pled guilty to assault with a dangerous weapon in Indian country. She's sentenced to 30 months in prison, 2 years supervised probation as well. Authorities say Morrow assaulted a witness in the 2019 murder of Jerry Tapp in an attempt to intimidate him. 2 men, father and son, are charged with Tapp's murder. You can read more about the case on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Meteorologist Doug Haley joining us now. Really no complaints today.
No, pretty good day for us today. Temperatures quite a bit warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days. 44-12 is where we started out. Average high for this time of the year is about 51 degrees. And we've had pretty much clear skies all day long. We do have a weak little wave just to our north. Most of the snow is going to stay northeast of us. Most of these showers aren't reaching the ground, but something we'll keep our eyes on as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures sitting into the mid-30s. Right now, we have a weak little front that's going to rotate through as we go into the overnight hours tonight. 27, but a little bit warmer, up to about 50 for us tomorrow. We're going to look at our next storm system all coming up here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. Elementary students in Joplin had the opportunity to learn about the work behind construction of their future school at Dover Elementary. With the help of an area construction company, they got a first-hand experience that students say they're always going to remember. Take a look at that. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more.
The site of the future Dover Elementary School got a visit on Friday from some future students.
I'm really excited because it's all summer and all year we've been working on it, and I'm really excited to go to the new school.
Construction for the site started early last year, and currently they're working on the precast for the gym and cafeteria.
We're actually working on interior metal studs as well as overhead rough-in with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So we've already started that process. The second floor slab has already been poured, so we're moving forward with the schedule.
4th graders at Columbia Elementary have been learning how cranes work to create buildings, how much panels weigh, all with the hopes that they'll learn more in the field of STEM.
Well, because they get to actually touch it and do it and actually work on it, rather than just reading from a book. Like if we actually get to touch it and move it around and actually work with a robotic crane, I think that will, they can remember that a lot better.
So on Friday, the 4th graders got to see how buildings like their future school are built, with some help from Crossland Construction and PITTSBURG Education.
We get the opportunity to bring them on site, let them see construction in kind of a real world situation, and let them be part of the construction of the building that they're going to be in by the end of the year.
With students getting the opportunity to see this firsthand, he hopes it could even spark an interest in construction. Students even had the chance to practice what they learned on a smaller scale.
So they'll use their own concrete panel, and then we have a robotic crane that they're about to put together, and then the kids get to actually use it and move it and put it into the panel.
Not only did students get a lesson in STEM and construction, but they also got to see how it applies to the real world as well.
One,
in Joplin.
2, 3.
Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Fun stuff. Construction of the school, by the way, is slated to be done by Christmas of this year. Little baristas serving up coffee, receiving a lesson in Knoll, Missouri. Kindergarten through 2nd grade students opened the T-Rex and Sharks coffee shop. It's a project-based learning assignment that teaches the kiddos some valuable skills.
Life skills like making eye contact, using manners. They have to knock on classroom doors before they enter. They have to use please. They have to use thank you. They learn to count money. They take money, they count it, they give change. So basic life skills like that.
The students received compensation in the form of popsicles, valuable commodities right there. It's being called the start of revenge travel. As Omicron wanes and the COVID pandemic winds down, Americans are eagerly booking those vacations. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has more from Los Angeles.
It feels like let's live a little.
Omicron is winding down and the country is slowly opening back up. And pent-up Americans are starting to hit the rails, roads, and skies again in big numbers. Air travel has been especially busy. The TSA says it screened just under 2 million passengers on Thursday, 1 million more than the same time last year, and a record for non-holiday travel during the pandemic.
A lot of people are now booking trips of a lifetime. So the bucket list trip you've always wanted to do that you really got the perspective on during COVID and you couldn't travel at all.
Winter weather is also playing a big role. Ski resorts throughout New England are filling up again after 2 years of struggling to stay open.
I'm from Pennsylvania, a little west of Reading, Pennsylvania. Came up here with my son.
It's the opposite here in California. Tourists are flocking to the Golden State to enjoy the warm weather during a bitterly cold winter.
Oh, it's great. Well, when you're from Iowa, this is like heaven.
The uptick in air travel is now prompting industry leaders to ask the feds to end COVID restrictions on planes, including mask and vaccine requirements. Travel experts say that could be a game changer that finally brings travel back up to pre-pandemic levels.
We've seen a lot of encouraging announcements from governments in just in the last couple of weeks. So I think the outlook is improving.
And as more folks hit the road for shorter getaways, some lawmakers are pushing to suspend the federal gas tax for the rest of the year. In Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
An important warning right here for people who buy infant formula. Health officials say 3 popular powdered infant formulas manufactured at an Abbott plant in Michigan should not be used. Investigators recently linked the plants to bacterial contamination. The infant formulas are Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare. The products have expiration dates beginning with April 1st, 2022. Food and Drug Administration says it's investigating 4 reports of infants who were hospitalized after consuming the formula, and sadly one of the babies died. The products were sold all across the U.S. Abbott has responded to the recall saying, quote, "We value the trust parents place in us for high quality and safe nutrition, and we'll do whatever it takes to keep that trust and resolve this situation." Ex-Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter sentenced in a Minneapolis courtroom today. The judge heard from Daunte Wright's family and Potter herself before handing down a decision. Fox News correspondent Garrett Tenney has more.
Former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter learned her fate in a Minneapolis courtroom Friday. Judge Regina Chu handing down a sentence of 24 months in prison for killing Daunte Wright during a traffic stop last April. Wright's parents expressed anger over the sentence.
Today, the justice system murdered him all over again.
Potter was convicted in December of first and second degree manslaughter in Wright's death. She claimed she meant to grab her taser instead of a handgun. The judge saying the facts justified a lesser sentence.
The scene was chaotic, tense, and rapidly evolving. Officer Potter was required to make a split-second judgment.
It was an emotional afternoon in the courtroom Friday. Daunte Wright's mother, Katie, saying she can never forgive the former police officer who killed her son.
I'll never be able to forgive you for what you've stolen from us. She took our baby boy with a single gunshot through his heart. She shattered mine.
Potter's attorney also addressing the court, holding up a box he said contained some of the thousands of letters and cards showing support for his client.
My heart is broken for all of you.
Potter herself also making a statement, apologizing directly to Daunte Wright's family and asking them for forgiveness.
I pray for Daunte and all of you many, many times a day. He is not more than one thought away from my heart.
Potter will serve just 16 months of her sentence in prison and with good behavior will be allowed to serve the remaining 8 months of her sentence on probation. In Minneapolis, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another 4-state hero. Charles Conklin has served in the U.S. Navy from 1952 to 1956. Native of Commerce, Oklahoma, Conklin was stationed in Korea. We are proud to thank and salute Quartermaster 3rd Class Charles Conklin, tonight's 4-state hero. Doug Katie's next with a complete look at the forecast, and a bit later, Colgan girls aiming to stay undefeated in a CNC rivalry game against Frontenac. Highlights, of course, in sports.
Not a bad Friday for us today. Temperatures warmer as we did go into the 40s for highs, but it's really going to warm up as we go through the next few days, which is good news. We do have some thunderstorm chances moving in late Monday, back to a wintry mix by next Thursday. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, and that is KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, look at our temps yesterday. 30s, we dropped back near 10 during the morning hours, and then better this afternoon into the mid-40s. We'll continue that warmer trend over the next couple days. Most of us right now are sitting into the mid-30s. We're going to drop back into the mid-20s, so especially in our northern counties where you still have some icy roads, be careful as we will get a little bit of refreezing throughout the overnight hours. Looks good. 7th and Rangeline currently outside sitting at 36. Southerly winds at about 10. Humidity is at 50%. And we've had pretty much clear skies all day long into the evening hours. We do have one little weak wave to our north. You can see a few showers up toward Kansas City. Most of this is not reaching the ground, but with it, a weak little cold front is going to rotate through. So that's going to switch our winds around for about 12 to 15 hours as we go into the weekend. Really, any rain or snow mainly stays to our north and to our east. And if we look out toward the west, no big storm systems moving in right now, but that will start to change again as we go into next week. For us tonight, kind of cold, mid to upper 20s. You can see northerly winds. The winds switch back out of the south as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Here's your day planner for you. We'll start at 27, 45 by noon. High temp right around 50 during the afternoon. Southerly winds at about 5 to 15. That's going to help our temperatures warm up. Tomorrow night, not near as cold. We only drop back upper 30s. And then on Sunday, we bypass the 50s and go into the 60s during the afternoon. In fact, on Monday, I think we'll go into the 70s. Lower 70s for highs. We could get a few scattered thunderstorms in here late Monday. Some of those could be strong, so we need to keep our eyes on that. Colder air shifts in. This storm system rolls east. Tuesday looks okay. We get a weak wave to our south on Wednesday. Another storm system rolls out Thursday, late Wednesday into Thursday. This could be freezing rain and sleet, and then over to some snow by Friday. So that's the next system we really got to keep our eyes on as we go into next week, as we get another shot for wintry weather. All right, 50 tomorrow, 63 on Sunday, 73 on Monday, and then only 41 on Tuesday, only 33 on Wednesday, high of 29 on Thursday, 32 on Friday. So really all over the place as we go into next week.
Yeah, looks
like we have been.
Yeah, we have been. Looks like a great weekend though.
Yeah, the weekend looks fantastic. Get outside, enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you a little bit. Thank you so much. Coming up, what is being called a bold statement from President Biden?
President Biden gives the latest update about the rising tensions between Russia and Ukraine. I'm Mallory Rivera in Washington with the details coming up.
Deodorant maker is voluntarily recalling 2 of its spray products. HRB Brands, the maker of Brute aerosol antiperspirant and deodorant sprays. Also, Sure regular and unscented deodorant sprays is recalling those products from stores. Food and Drug Administration says that unexpected levels of benzene have been found in the spray propellants used. Benzene is considered a human carcinogen and is not a product ingredient. Affected products have an expiration date on or before August of 2023. For more information, just head over to fda.gov, and then when you're there, search for Brute. In his remarks today at the White House, President Biden says he's convinced Russia will invade Ukraine, but he's so hopeful diplomacy can prevail. Members of the administration are overseas meeting with their counterparts about the crisis. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more details now from Washington.
Tensions between Russia and the West reaching a fever pitch Friday. After speaking with European leaders and NATO allies, President Biden warns the threat of Russia invading Ukraine remains very high.
We have reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days.
U.S. officials estimate as many as 190,000 Russian troops are gathered by the Ukrainian border. Some of those living in eastern Ukraine are now leaving, as shelling between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed rebels spikes.
It's very scary indeed, especially after we saw the news that a kindergarten was shelled.
The Russian military also announcing drills of its nuclear forces during the weekend, with President Vladimir Putin personally supervising the practice missile tests. Air raid sirens went off in Donetsk Friday. A separatist leader is calling for people to evacuate, claiming that the Ukrainian government could soon attack. Ukraine has denounced the allegations, which they say Russia is planning to use as a pretext for military action.
And our task is to restrain this abnormal situation in order to avoid a pretext for escalation.
The U.S. says it's still open to diplomacy, though some argue the window for it is closing.
The United States and our allies are prepared to defend every inch of NATO territory from any threat to our collective security as well.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to meet with his Russian counterpart, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, next week. That is, if Russia hasn't invaded Ukraine yet. In Washington, Malta Rivera, Fox News.
Still ahead, that one glass of wine could contain a lot of sugar.
A popular beverage could be hiding your entire day's worth of sugar. I'm Tina Krause with research leaving a bitter taste.
People with diabetes will soon have a new tool to help them with their insulin shots. The FDA has approved the first app that lets users schedule and deliver doses of insulin. The company Tandem Diabetes Care says the app connects to a special insulin pump that gives needed doses of bolus insulin, which stops glucose spikes after meals. The app, with this new feature, is going to be available for free through a software update. The company, however, did not say when that feature will launch. It is National Drink Wine Day, and there's new research out revealing exactly what's in some of those most popular bottles. A British study shows drinking just 2 glasses of certain wines could put people over the recommended daily sugar limit. Reporter Tina Krause says more from London.
Just pop and pour. It's a pandemic pastime most don't think twice about.
I think it's quite relaxing, for me at least.
Something to look forward to.
I guess staying in's the new going out, isn't it?
But new research reveals 2 glasses a day could put you over the suggested sugar limit.
I think for a lot of people, they think of alcoholic beverages as kind of, not counting or not really thinking about what's in it.
Britain's Alcohol Health Alliance found some of the country's most popular wines pack close to 60 grams of sugar per bottle. 1 glass of this sparkling variety has more sugar than a glazed donut, and dietitians say that adds up over time.
High sugar intake over the long term is associated with an increased risk of certain diseases like cardiovascular disease and diabetes.
Consumer groups are calling for nutrition labels on wine bottles, something not required here in the UK or the US, leaving consumers in the dark when it comes to sugar and calorie content.
To be honest, I don't care.
Personally, I think, it would be very good to know.
Researchers also found 2 6-ounce glasses of some reds have more calories than a hamburger.
So I think having transparency around labeling could help people choose a wine or any type of alcoholic beverage that feels most aligned with them.
So wine lovers can sit back and sip guilt-free.
The study found wines that contained less alcohol, like rosé, fruit, and sparkling varieties, tended to be higher in sugar. All right, going from wine to watermelons. Watermelons are not only tasty, they're thirst quenching. Quite good for your health, too. A team at the Illinois Institute of Technology conducted a study that found the summertime favorite contains compounds that benefit many different parts of the human body. Research found watermelons are packed with antioxidants, minerals, and essential vitamins. They also contain amino acids that help control blood pressure, blood fats, and blood sugar. And the study found the melons promote brain health and help control body weight. Going from watermelons to candy. Next, going to check out some new jelly beans flavored after food and drinks from taco trucks. Probably not the first thing you would expect to find in your Easter basket. Jelly beans inspired by food and beverages served from taco trucks. The beans taste like margaritas, churro, salsa, guacamole, beef taco, and the beverage horchata. Brock's is calling them the new late-night taco truck jelly beans. Each jelly bean has a chewy center, features a color that goes along with its flavor. You can find them at Target for a limited time. I give them a try, just to try them out, but I think I would just like the old school jelly beans. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. I'm going to tell you about a new Joplin business, giving folks a chance to get creative and a little bit messy.
After nearly a month here in Canada, police finally moving into the capital city to tell those protesters they've got to go home. I'm Alexis McAdams. I'll have the details coming up next.
The new Joplin business is encouraging guests to get messy and creative. It's called Color Me Rad. It offers folks a chance to put their ideas on canvas in unique environments like dark rooms with black light and UV paint.
I think it was just the shock of the kids, just the look on their face when I said, you can paint me and I can paint you, and they're looking at me like I'm nuts. Even though they're in protective gear, just the thought of it was like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to get in trouble. But they still did it, and it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, I bet. Color Me Rad is located at 3120 South Main, again in Joplin. Day one of the Pittsburgh Business Expo kicked off today. This year's theme is a disco inferno at the Biz Expo. Businesses were asked to decorate their booths for a chance to win a prize. Officials with the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce say it's a chance for local businesses to connect with the community and promote themselves.
It's an opportunity for us to give close to 30 of our local employers the opportunity to come face to face with their potential customers. We also, especially in the face of historic low unemployment here in Pittsburgh, we have a lot of our employers that are also using this as an opportunity to showcase job openings that they've got.
The expo continues tomorrow from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. The majority of Americans working from home don't want to go back to the office. A new Pew Research poll shows 61% of Americans would choose to remain remote if given the option. That's almost double the amount that said the same in October of 2020, with 64% of supporters saying remote work has made the work-life balance easier. However, 60% said they felt less connected to coworkers. During the past several years, full retirement age to collect Social Security benefits has been gradually pushed back. That's because of amendments made to Social Security almost 40 years ago. But now, everyone who turns 62 this year and from now on will have the same full retirement age at which they can collect their Social Security benefits. The full retirement age will now be 67, by the way. By contrast, people born between 1943 and 1954 had to wait until they turned 66. Federal agency is calling for an investigation of 2 communications providers over protecting customers from robocalls. The Federal Communications Commission says voice service providers Bandwidth Inc. and Vonage Holding aren't doing enough to protect consumers from spoofed robocalls and have been referred for further investigation. Standards known as STIR/SHAKEN were set up in 2021 to verify caller ID. Vonage has not commented, and Bandwidth says it still has some older legacy equipment that prevents standards use and is working to move voice traffic off the equipment. Police in Canada cracking down on members of the Freedom Convoy protesting COVID-19 mandates. Fox News' Alexis McAdams is in Ottawa now with more.
Police in Ottawa executing an operation Friday to crack down on members and supporters of the Freedom Convoy. Hundreds of police officers moving in, taking people into custody. Some of the officers were inside SWAT vehicles, others were equipped with riot gear and automatic weapons. Despite this, protesters say they'll remain until their demands are met.
I'm willing to take it all the way, and by all the way, I mean dropping to my knees, putting up a peace sign, and they'll have to remove me at that point.
Scenes like this one show the massive police presence in and around the Canadian capital.
We fought for our freedom!
Tensions high as officers attempted to arrest protesters who occupied parts of Ottawa for more than 3 weeks to protest COVID-19 restrictions. Investigators going truck to truck, towing several vehicles in the process. Much of the downtown area has been sealed off from outsiders. Members of the media asked to avoid the areas where police operations are taking place. 2 convoy leaders have already been charged with criminal mischief. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he's confident in police.
Police have every tool they need, and their indications we're now starting to see progress. I have every confidence in our law enforcement to bring an end to this, and they continue to have my full support.
Some truckers say they'll leave with honor as others are still standing strong. Police are confident this will end soon. In Ottawa, Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
A bit later, more help at the grocery store.
Trips to the grocery store just got a whole lot easier. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington with more on how a new robot could really change the way you shop. That's coming right up.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a better day for us today. Plus, it's Friday, so of course we're heading into the weekend. And if you liked today's temperatures, you're going to love tomorrow's temperatures. And if you love tomorrow's temperatures, you're really going to love Sunday and Monday as we continue to warm up. All right, scattered thunderstorms late Monday. Some of these could be strong, but the storm system kind of develops as it passes by. Back to a wintry mix by Thursday, and that could be a stronger system, so we need to keep our eyes on that. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAM, newsnow.com. 30s yesterday. It was cold this morning. We dropped all the way back near 10, so a pretty good warm-up. Yeah, we warmed up over 30 degrees during the afternoon hours. 35 in Lamar, 34 in Grand, 33 in Chanute, Anderson at 34, Fort Scott checking in at 35 degrees. 7th and Rangeline outside sitting at 36. Southerly winds at about 10. Humidity is at 50%. We've had pretty much clear skies all day. We're going to continue to see those clear skies as we go through the overnight hours until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see this weak little line. A few showers, few snow showers. Most of this is not reaching the ground, but we are going to get a few clouds from it. We are going to get a weak little cold front that is going to pass through, but most of the snow stays well to our north and to our east. No big storm systems out west, so we're pretty quiet for the next 2 or 3 days. And then things really start to change up. All right, let's go through time. Tonight, northerly winds, weak little front. We drop back into the 20s. Look at the winds tomorrow. Slowly crank around out of the south. That's going to help our temperatures warm up. We'll start at 27, 45 by noon. High temp at 50. Southerly winds at about 5 to 15. Tomorrow night, we drop back only into the upper 30s, so not near as cold. And then Sunday, we go into the lower 60s during the afternoon, which is really fantastic. And then we're going to warm up even more as we go into Monday. So let's move into Monday. Next storm system rolling out. It kind of develops as it passes by. We should go into lower 70s for highs. A chance we could get a few scattered thunderstorms late in the day. This system passes on by quite a bit cooler Tuesday into Wednesday, and then another stronger wave rolls out on Thursday. This is still 6 days away, but it has the potential for more freezing rain, sleet, and snow as it passes by. So something we want to watch closely over the next few days. 50 tomorrow, 63 Sunday, 73 on Monday. And then look at this 60-degree drop. So our high on Monday all the way down to 13 by Tuesday night.
How many times have you talked about the weather and I said, it's just crazy afterward?
It usually always is.
Yeah.
So,
Doug, thanks
what do
so
you
much. As always, I appreciate it. Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh boys aiming to claim an outright conference championship against Labette County, plus a CNC rivalry game tonight between Colgan and Frontenac. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Colgan Panthers host a CNC rivalry game tonight against the Frontenac Raiders. On the girls' side, this is a matchup of two of the best girls teams in southeast Kansas. Frontenac is 11-4. Colgan is undefeated, sitting at 16-0 coming into the night. 5 minutes in, Heather Arnett, corner 3 for Frontenac. Game is tied. But other end, Lily Brown was a monster in the first. Brown 11 in the quarter, 16 in the first half. Panthers lead by 2 after 1. Second quarter, Lauren Yagmore gets the steal ahead to Lauren Torrance. Torrance finishes. Colgan pushes their lead to 5 at halftime. The Raiders score just 2 in the third. Lily Brown again there for Colgan. Panthers up 12 heading to the final quarter. Then early fourth, Yagmore to Torrance. Torrance finishes with 15. Yagmore assisting again. Back to Lily Brown and the foul this time. Brown drops 30 tonight for Colgan. Now, Frontenac did make a little late run to cut the lead to single digits. Sydney Frankenberry jumper goes, but too little too late for the Raiders. Colgan wins at 52-41. They're now 17-0 and they're CNC conference champs.
We set 5 goals going into the season and we've achieved 3 of them. You know, we got 2 left, but this was one of our big ones and we wanted to win it outright this year. So I'm really proud of how the kids showed up tonight. Nothing is too big for them. Nothing, you know, when Frontenac started making a run, they just kept their composure and they just kept attacking. And it's just, I think just how they play together and how unselfish they are, that's pretty tough to beat. You know, when you got a team that's all in, you can't really beat that.
The boys game, it's a good one too. The 13-4 Raiders trying for their 4th straight win. Jalen Van Beesler driving and scoring for the Panthers. Colgan out to the early lead, but Vinny Pyle going to work on both ends. Takes a charge here on defense. Then on the other end of the floor, he goes to the rim and finishes. Raiders down just 2 going to the second. And they're more back and forth in the second quarter. Stuart O'Brien muscles his way in for the bucket. Mario Mangini has the answer for the Raiders. Check out the spin move. Raiders up 3 at half, but the second half, it was Colgan's. Panthers make it a sweep, 63-53. Staying in the CNC, Galena is at home tonight against Columbus. The Galena boys are on a roll right now. They've won 11 games in a row and are ranked 3rd in the 3A state rankings this week. And the Bulldogs try to stay rolling this evening with a big one against the 12-4 Titans. Tyler Little working inside, bucket and the foul. Little finishes with 14. At the first quarter buzzer, check this out. Brett Sarwinski drains the 3. More from the Bulldogs here. Zane Turner finds Kobe McLaughlin down low. He adds 18. Other way, Landon Midget alone at the top. But this one, all Galena. Sarwinski coming in clutch again at the buzzer for the 2nd time tonight, plus the foul. 23 points tonight for Sarwinski. Galena claims a CNC League championship. They roll by Columbus 67-47. On the girls' game, Bulldogs trying to make it 3 straight wins and sweep the season series from Columbus. Katie Simpson takes a long pass in transition, banks it in. She finishes with 12. Then for Galena, Mia Sarwinski hits the 3. 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Not for long, though. Columbus fights back, and before half, Simpson dishes it off to Katie Mooney for the triple. Columbus within 1. Then in the third, Grace Major pulling up from long range. Then a few minutes to play left. Mooney knocks it down from the corner. That makes it 41-40 Titans. Mooney goes 4 for 4 from 3, 12 points for the freshman. Columbus gets by Galena 45-44.
They just didn't stop. They didn't stop fighting. They make a shot, miss a shot, they were ready for the next play. They just never gave it up. They've done what they did all year, and they fought the whole time. And I'm so proud of the girls. This was such a good win for them. We knew she's a handful, and we had to have all eyes on her, and it was really a team effort. It wasn't just one person, it was all 5 of us.
Well, the first week of the Major League Baseball spring training schedule is off because the players are currently without a collective bargaining agreement. And the Major League Baseball Players Association and the MLB are revving up negotiations and plan to meet daily to try to iron out a deal by the end of the month. Now, if they can, the regular season slated to begin on March 31st should not be impacted. As of now, spring training, though, won't begin until March 5th at the earliest. Now, anyone with tickets to a spring game before that will receive a refund. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
A new robot is freeing up people's hands, giving them the independence needed to shop and walk on their own with nothing to carry or weigh them down. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more on the invention intended to get people moving.
Want to make grocery shopping easier? Well, you're not alone.
It would be great to have something to carry your shop and have your hands free, particularly if it's a bad day and you're dealing with an umbrella and your phone and your purse and things, and somewhere to store it safely.
A new robot is rolling in to help. The Jita is making its way to supermarkets and streets, offering senior citizens an opportunity to walk hands-free.
It uses one of the most advanced technology, but its purpose is just to basically help you to walk more, help walk free from goods, because you can carry goods inside Jita.
The Jita is not your typical scooter. It uses recognition technology to pair and follow a person, carrying items in its locked storage compartment or even working as a seat when needed. Creators hope the Jita will give people the independence to walk more.
One good rule of longevity, of living healthier and longer life, is just to walk. Why don't empower ourselves to walk more And that's what we think it's very interesting as a different approach to leverage the most innovative technology, machine learning and robots, to allow people to walk more.
And although it seems like a glimpse into the not too distant future, believe it or not, Jeeta's on the market right now, selling for about $3,000. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Coming up, a new movie about Elvis's rise to fame. Hollywood Nation coming your way. The King is in the building. Rock stars hitting the road. Hit series announce final seasons. Here's today's Hollywood Nation with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Elvis debuts, hit series conclude, and get ready to rock in the Hollywood Nation.
It's on.
After a 2-summer postponement, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts are bringing their co-headlining show full of anthems nationwide this summer. The stadium tour kicks off June 19th.
Let's change the business.
Midge is ready for her grand finale. Just as season 4 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel begins, Prime Video announced the series has been renewed for a 5th and final season.
Children, no running.
Things are about to get flipped upside down. Netflix's Stranger Things season 4 will premiere with Volume 1 May 27th and Volume 2 July 1st. Mysterious photos and a letter to fans from the Duffer Brothers gives a look at the beginning of the end as they also reveal their series will conclude with season 5.
They want to turn me into a Black Martha Stewart?
In today's Look at First Looks, Showtime released the trailer for The First Lady, with Viola Davis as Michelle Obama, Michelle Pfeiffer as Betty Ford, and Gillian Anderson as Eleanor Roosevelt. The 10-episode anthology premieres April 17th. And The King is in the spotlight. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, gives a look at the music icon's rise to fame through stardom. The film is in theaters June 24th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of some otters. Have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.